I've got you. You're in my hand. You're in my hand. Wait, there we go. Oh, there you are. Oh, whatever.
Okay, so when we do our pre-Cana classes for the Diocese of Syracuse, we do a talk called The Basics. And one of the points that we talk about in that talk is the importance of believing in one another. We have to believe in each other. As a married couple, we have to be each other's biggest supporters, uh, biggest fighters for each other. We need to believe in one another, and how empowering that is for a couple. For me to know as a woman that, I am a strong woman. People see me as a strong woman, but the reality is that I'm encouraged in that strength. I'm encouraged in who I am through my husband. He has empowered me that way. He has allowed me to be that person. He has believed in me. He is really the ultimate cheerleader. That's it. If there's a spiritual gift called cheerleading, that's him. Right?
I don't know how to feel about
Get your little
that.
skirt.
Yeah, it's interesting because I often have said that I could speak before whatever thousands and thousands of people, but in the end, it's really just the one opinion that matters for me, and that is Linda. What did you think? How did it go? Because ultimately, Linda has seen all the talks, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and she knows when I'm on and when I'm not on. I had a funny moment where I was in Chicago, and I was doing a cool church mission, a parish mission, and they wanted me to do the pitch at all the masses. No problem, I do that. That's easy. But I had to speak at what was the Spanish speaking mass and make the invitation for anybody who might want to come to the
Which you have done
to the
before.
mission. I've totally done that
You've
before,
done that before.
and it's not
And
a
I
big
was there
problem.
for this. Yeah.
Okay, but that particular day, and maybe it was just the time in the morning or what, but I could not make a connection. And to be honest, I'm not used to that because I know that one of my spiritual gifts is definitely figuring out a way to reach the audience and tell stories that resonate. And I just am thankful for that. That's what I do, and it's a great gift. But that day, it was like I was speaking the wrong language because I probably was.
It was painful to watch.
And Linda in the background, I think I saw her do something like this. And I knew what she was saying, which
Crashed and burned.
is you are crashing and burning.
He flopped, and I have never seen him do that.
It was pretty funny.
It was a historical moment. We told the lady who brought us in, this is a historical moment. You never see Chris Padgett crash and burn. He did totally.
But what's interesting about this idea of believing in each other, that doesn't mean that it's always some sort of false cheerleading and some weird false affirmation. There's an honesty there that's so beautiful that you are with someone that believes in you so much that they can laugh with you when you flop, and they can be there for you when you need a shoulder to cry on, and they can cheer you on when you're feeling like giving up. I mean, this idea of believing in each other is it's about really seeing the beauty of a human person and who they are and what they're capable of, and doing everything you can to help them to get from here to here. And I love that. And for us, it was such a funny moment because it would have done me no good to get off the stage and Linda say, you rocked it. That was amazing. Because we both knew that moment was not a perfect moment. But it's been a great moment for us to remember and to laugh about.
Right, and because really, and the scope of our relationship, we've always been there for each other. We've always tried to encourage each other, and this has been a journey that we've taken together. When we were in college, we went to college in Palm Beach Atlantic College, which is now Palm Beach Atlantic University, in downtown West Palm Beach, Florida, which at that time was the hood. It was the hood. It was crack houses everywhere. Now it's gorgeous. They've torn them all down and built beautiful things. But at that time, it was a crack houses. And I remember one day we were leaving the college to go, I don't know, to the mall, probably to the bookstore, because that's what we did all the time. And so we're driving to the bookstore through the hood, and Chris Well, even back then was doing very simple ministry, literally walking the streets of downtown West Palm Beach at night, sharing the gospel to prostitutes and to drug addicts. And he and a friend of his together, they were doing that together. And I would go out once in a while, but I was not the person to be on the street. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But we were driving through this, and he says he knew he was called to ministry. And I remember him saying, he pointed to one of these dilapidated crack houses, and he goes, Linda, I may not be able to get you this, but I'm going to do what we can to give you the best life possible. And I just remember thinking to myself, so you're not going to get me a crack house? Like, is that the epitome of what you think you could get me? Was a big old crack
Listen,
house?
if you keep the expectation low when you surpass it, it's awesome.
But that whole heart of his to say, we're going to do this the best that we can together. And it may not be perfect. It may not be the most that the world thinks that we should have, but we're going to do this together. And that has been our goal, our momentum throughout this relationship. Some bumps and downs, not perfect, but the momentum in our relationship. And it's something that also, not that again that we're perfect, but that we also have to do with our children to build in them a momentum of encouragement, and that we believe in you. You can do anything that you set your mind to do. Shoot for the stars, all those kind of cliches. That's what we need to communicate that to our children as well. Having so many kids, I think our children desire uniqueness. They desire to stand apart from the crowd in our own home. And so the kids will know. One will say, he knows he's not the funny one. So he goes, well, if Joe's the funny one, what am I? What am I? They want to know what is unique about who they are. What do we see them as being special? What is special about this person? What is special about this person? That ultimately we love them all, and they know that we love them all, but that we see them. We see the individuality in them, and they need to know that we see that individuality in them. And so much more with a husband and a wife, to know that he stands apart to me. He stands apart more than any other man in this world. Chris stands apart for me, and I am the same for him.
What's interesting is that really believing in one another is something that should be kind of effortless at first. You fall in love, you see that person, and you want to cheer them on. I think what happens a lot of times though in marriages is that the exhaustion of maybe bills and expectations and obligations, you can start to think, well, we got enough to worry about on our plate right now. The stress level can increase, and you can just think, well, they know I love them, and everything's okay, but let's just try to get through this period. And if you're not careful, you can lose connection and touch with each other. And for us, what we've realized, I think, along the way is that we need to constantly be affirming each other and letting each other know, I still see you, I still believe in you, and I still, obviously, I still love you. And saying those things can be very important, especially for someone who's a words person, and showing that person how you believe in them is so important. So when Linda, for example, said to me, I really been discerning and praying about this idea of doing spiritual direction. I didn't just say, "Oh, that's nice." I wanted to support her and let her know. Not only do I think that's a great idea, like I want to 100% believe in you for that. So what's the next step? And what the next step is, we signed her up for a 3-year course that she's going to be able to do to get her spiritual direction certificate, and that's going to be amazing. And why is that exciting? Well, she's a little older. You say, she's got a busy plate with the kids, but boy, oh boy, I already know she's got an amazing
Okay.
spiritual gift. You're old.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, you're so old. The thing about it is she's got this amazing spiritual gift that I know that God is going to use tremendously. I've often thought that Linda's been a bit of my shrink over the years, and to
That's
me,
true.
knowing that she can do that for others is an amazing consolation, really.
But I think the point with that, I think I see, is that really my decision to go through with this was based in Chris's observation of me. I actually tried several different things I was thinking about before, but it was him who said, no, Linda, this is where your gifts lie. This is where I feel the Lord is leading you. And being that we have confided in each other through the years, that we've paid attention to each other, to know who we are, to know each other, I can trust his opinion of me, and that his observations of me, I can trust that because I know all along he has had my best interest in mind.
We've
So
seen some couples too where it's like you can see the desire or the ache of one spouse to do something, and there's such a disconnect and even a lack of support and almost a like a lack of belief in that other. And you're thinking to yourself, like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you doing that? You should be supporting them and lifting them up and empowering them. So
engage in each other's lives.
our encouragement to you is pretty simple. Like, be each other's greatest advocate. And I think I mentioned this before, but the last thing that you need is for your spouse to go to work and find more encouragement and affirmation from someone else than from you. um, we all need that listening ear. Let the listening ear be you as the spouse. And maybe you're exhausted and maybe you're tired, but so what? The truth is that's part of the gift that you get to be for your spouse. So listen, build up, encourage. You've got places to go and things to do. And knowing that you have each other's back makes it not just possible, but makes you capable of doing the impossible. So many blessings to you. Linda and I, we love sharing some of these thoughts with you. If you want us to talk about something specifically, feel free to message us, and we would be glad to do that. So Linda at CatholicFam.org or Chris at CatholicFam.org. I got to take Kenny for a little exercise walk.
Maybe you could do some cheerleading.
Maybe. See ya. Gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run.
Do the sign language.
Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Time enough for counting when the dealing's done.